Today I'd like to talk about my sections and the difference between my project section and my someday maybe section. And also I have this tiny section for permanent information, and it's kind of a part of the final book here because this is made out of 3 books. But it's different. It's, as I said, permanent information, like things that you need to reference for years and years and years. Whereas someday maybe lists are projects that are put on the back burner, and the project section is for current projects. But as you can see, there are a lot of tabs in my book, and several of these tabs, I mean, they represent different areas of my life, and the same tab can occur in several sections. And there it is as well. So this blue-white one, you can see, is in several sections. But they, the lists that it marks, this tab, are different. So I'd like to explain how it all works by having one example, namely the cabin that my husband and I own and go to regularly during the summer months. So in the back here, in the, well, this is a permanent information section. So I have a list that with permanent information to do with the cabin. In the someday maybe section, I have someday maybe lists for the cabin, projects we might like to do at some point. And in the project section, the current project section, I have current information that is transitory. So as you can see, it's the same tab in all of these places. It's green with flowers on it, but the lists are different. So to begin with, the project section where I have my current list. This is where I put, well, the lists for example, when we're going there, when we're going to the cabin, we need to know what to bring. So for example, is the toilet paper, are we out of toilet paper, or do we need to bring some food, or like, well, for example, well, here, bathing suit. I actually wrote this about an hour ago because I was in the bathroom and I saw my bathing suit hanging on a peg, and I realized, oh, yes, next time we go to the cabin, it might be warm enough that we can bathe outside in a lake. So I immediately went to my planner, to the current list in the project section, and put bathing suit. And other things, just trays, coffee, salad, just things that we need to bring. And also things we need to do next time we go there, like taking the ashes out of the, whatchamacallit, the thing where you, the stove? No, the thing that keeps you warm, okay? Also, I have a few current projects we'd like to add a section to the house, which is very ambitious for one summer, but we're gonna try. So I've put what we need for that, and also we're going to build a little jetty for a stream nearby the house. So those are the things that we're aiming for this year. Now, some things, like things to bring, are the same every time, and that's where the permanent information section comes in. So that's a different list, and I have a checklist for when we leave our home to go to the cabin. I have a list of things to always bring, and I have a small list for what we need to do when we get there. So for example, when we leave, because this is always an issue, did we lock the doors? So check that the doors are locked, check that there's no laundry moldering in the washing machine, have we switched off the coffee machine, you know, things like that, just a checklist. And things to always bring, like I always bring my planner, I always bring my pen pouch, chargers for our gadgets, you know, stuff like that. And when we get there, we always boil a pot of potatoes so that we have potatoes for the whole weekend or whatever. And we make ice for our drinks in the evening. So those things are, you know, I don't want to rewrite them every time, so they're in the permanent information section. This is a tab for that, and I have the cabin tab to mark that page. So, yeah, so this is current, this is permanent, and then we have the dreams section, the someday maybe list, like castles in the air stuff. So this is where I put things we'd like to do at some point, and it's a lot, so probably not all of this will get done in a lifetime, but we don't want to lose good ideas, so we have this list in the back of the book to remind us of what we might do if we're feeling energetic and inspired. So for example, we'd like to create sort of a fairy tale path through the woods where we hang things in the trees and just create scenes in the middle of, you know, between the trees with old stuff, just like, for example, we're going to put a really old stove there from the beginning of the 20th century and have old pots and pans on top, and it will just sit there in the middle of the woods and be beautiful, really. It's an iron stove. And, well, what else? We're going to put a pot of gold there, you know, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. We're going to paint stones in gold paint and put in this pot, and you know, just things like that. We're creative and childish and silly, so we like that kind of stuff. But other things as well, we need to solve a couple of problems in the house, like there's no proper wardrobe. We need to have somewhere to store the wood for the wood stove, and so on. So, you know, just things we should do or want to do at some point. Paint the ceiling. So while these lists are all different, they have to do with the same area of my life, and therefore they have the same cabin tab. But by having them in different sections, I, you know, keep apart different levels of information. So if we're, say that it's Friday and we're on our way, well, first I have a look in the current project, in the project section for the current list. Okay, we need to bring these things and we need to do this. And then I go to the permanent section and the permanent list and check the checklist so that I bring the usual stuff with me and just check that the doors are locked and all that. And when we're there and we're bored and sort of feeling like maybe we should do something visionary, then we go to the visionary section here, the someday maybe list. and have a look if there's anything we might move forward on. So yeah, that was it. I have nothing more to say, but I just find it works to separate lists that are different in nature. They're sort of on different levels. I don't know how else to explain it.